Hi, I'm Karen from Mayor Wellbeing, hypnotherapist, wellness coach, and #1 best-selling author of my book, Free Your Mind, Change Your Life, out on Amazon now. Do you feel stuck in your life? Are negative habits, fears, or beliefs holding you back from living the life you want and deserve? Do you want to continue living your life with these restrictions? You can live a confident, happy, abundant life, feeling in control. I wanted to share with you my story and my journey of transformation from 11 years of ME and coming from a very dark, unhappy place, so that I can help others, help you to live the true life that you should be living, that true, happy, abundant life that I am now living, which is just an incredible gift. What I've done is created the Mayor method, which is 6 steps of how I sorted myself out, how I transformed my life, how I healed myself from the ME and the dark place, the mood, the low mood that I was in. I'm very passionate about sharing that with you. So through the video, you will start to get an understanding of what is holding you back. And at the end, there's a lovely free bonus for you to enjoy. But for now, grab a pen and paper so that you can start your transformation right here today. I use hypnotherapy, counseling skills, neuro-linguistic programming, inner child therapy and techniques. And I draw from my social work background, working in severe and enduring mental health and stroke rehabilitation. People feel stuck for many reasons. Clients come to see me maybe with mental health problems, physical health, experiencing irrational fears, negative habits, or their beliefs are so strong that it's affecting their adult life still. It may be that somebody is stuck in an unhappy marriage like me, or going through a divorce. There's many, many reasons people feel stuck in their life. And I'm so passionate about helping people to unstuck themselves, to free their mind and change their life, because it has been the most incredible journey for me to have done that. When we are children, we take on board everything that we are told and learn and see in TV and media, etc. And it's all filed away in our subconscious mind. And we live from those beliefs from our subconscious mind. And the subconscious makes up 95 to 98% of the mind, leaving the conscious mind with just that few percent. So it makes total sense to work with the subconscious mind. It's like wearing negative glasses. That whatever you're viewing from whatever those beliefs are and those patterns that are in your subconscious mind. So it's time to take those glasses off, to be your true authentic self, to shine out to the world, live the life you want and deserve. I'm going to share some PowerPoint screens with you. So we'll start with this one. Okay, so introducing the benefits of the Mayor method. It could support you to identify and change your self-limiting beliefs and any self-sabotaging behavior. To move you from living in fear to a place of love, positivity, and abundance. To thrive instead of surviving or drifting. To accept yourself. To identify and reach your goals. To boost your confidence and self-esteem. To learn how to react to stress and difficult situations differently. To deeply relax you. To manifest what you want in your life and to create a positive daily routine. So more about all those as we go through. Now here is an example of a lady who used the Mayer method to change her life. This lady had low self-esteem. She wanted to believe in herself. She was working in a job that she did not really like, but she put up with it. Her confidence was low and she was generally unhappy, even though she thought she should not be, as she had a good life generally. Once she realized that her negative self-belief was a belief that she learned from her childhood, she changed it to a very positive belief with my support. She accepted who she was. Her identity and role in life then became clear to her. She left her job as she now felt worthy of a better job, as they were not treating her with the respect she felt she deserved. She then applied for jobs that she would love to do and even negotiated a higher salary at one interview. Her mood lifted and her doctor started to take her off her antidepressant medication. Her self-belief soared and her husband and people around her noticed that she was now the most positive they'd ever seen her. She found her direction in life and she connected with who she truly was. She now had an opinion to share and she described feeling free and having lots of energy. She was enjoying living a healthier lifestyle and had a new positive focus on her health. So she had lots of sort of lovely side effects of what she'd done in our sessions. And the main thing, her self-esteem increased from 30% to 100% from changing that self-limiting belief. And it was so wonderful for me to support her on that journey. So now grab your pen and paper and score how fulfilled you feel in each area of your life out of 100. It's good to do this now at the beginning, and then you can do it further down the line. You can do it more than once. It's really good to just see where you're at. Scoring really helps to see what you still need to focus on and how well you've done, how far you've moved on in other areas. So think of the first number that comes to mind. Don't allow your mind, conscious mind, to analyze this. So happiness. Write down that score out of 100. Health. Energy. Spiritual needs. Now by that I mean, I'm not a religious person. I don't follow a man-made religion, but I have a very strong spiritual connection. And I do that through yoga and meditation. So maybe it's something you want to reflect on for yourself, what that means for you. So relationships, so that's partners, husbands, wives, etc. Score how fulfilled you feel in that area. Friendships. Family life, so with your children, maybe stepchildren, parents, etc. And work. How fulfilled do you feel in your work? So many people don't like or hate their work. And that's so sad because we spend so much time at work. I know that, you know, most people have financial commitments, etc. So you can't just jack in a job and go and study. But it's starting gradually. So whether it's just watching some free webinars online, going to the library and renting out a book, or buying some books and DVDs, etc. But it's immersing yourself in what you love and learning. I stopped watching mindless TV years ago. So now I enjoy, you know, listening to webinars when I'm cooking, learning things that I feel passionate about, that I really enjoy. Hobbies, your time for you. Even if it's just a small amount of time per day or per week, just something that you love doing. The more we look after ourselves, the better it is, because then we can look after other people, because our health is good, we're happy, we're content, and then we are oozing out that energy and happiness to others. Confidence, now that has very different areas. It might be work confidence, social confidence, dating confidence, all sorts of areas of confidence. So you can break those down into different areas. You do this afterwards, pause the recording, but remembering to write down the first number that comes to mind for each area. Self-esteem, that is how worthy you feel of good things happening to you. Feeling in control of your life. Sometimes you feel overwhelmed and out of control. I certainly did in my life. Fulfilling your dreams and ambitions. Reflect back, what dreams did you have when you were young? What can you do to move towards them? Tiny steps to still move towards your dreams and ambitions. And how much do you love yourself? You may just like yourself. So 100 would be that you truly love yourself. Okay, so now I will tell you about my story. I was working as a social worker because it was in a mental health team. It was very stressful. I was learning mental health law that I found really difficult. My mind is not set up for law. It's definitely sort of into psychologies and therapies, and I found that really, really difficult. They were short-staffed, and so I was pushing myself really, really hard to do all that. And I started to feel very fatigued. I was very active. I found that I couldn't cycle home and things like that. I was really running out of energy very, very quickly. And it got worse and worse. And within 10 months, I was stuck in bed and I couldn't work at all. Didn't know what was going on. Symptoms were getting worse and worse as well, with sort of stabbing feelings, as if I was continually being stabbed with a knife across the back of my shoulders and down my arms, in my neck. It was like a restless feeling continually in my muscles, my whole body aching to a level of pain, unbearable at times. It felt like everything I was doing was climbing a mountain. You know, walking up the stairs was climbing a mountain. Being able to do anything was awful. The weirdest symptom was my brain felt like it was on fire. Very strange feeling. And it was like a muzzy head, as if I was just full of cotton wool. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't think of words, forgetting people's names. I thought I had early onset dementia or some sort of brain tumour. It was so awful. It affected my spatial awareness, so I'd be walking into doorways, etc. And when I did have enough energy just to go a very short distance in the car, I kept hitting the car. Poor car, got a real battering. I was very, very low, really low mood. And, you know, it's understandable, isn't it? Anybody would be going through all those symptoms, just feeling like I was dying. And to be honest, I wanted to die. I wanted my life to end. I don't think I would have actually killed myself, but I did want my life to end. I was so unhappy. And when I had migraines, etc., on top as well, and I was just laying in bed in a dark room, how lonely, oh gosh, deeply lonely I felt, all on my own, in an unhappy marriage. Bless him, he just couldn't cope. He couldn't support me. And I just sort of shrunk my life down even more into just living in my bedroom in that dark, dark place. So I did what, I don't know if you've seen Eat, Pray, Love, the film with Julia Roberts. It's a story of the author, true story of her life, Elizabeth Gilbert. She woke up one night in the rain, sort of realizing that she was in the wrong life, and she just had to get out. She went into the bathroom and lay down on the floor, and she was praying to whatever was out there. And I did the same in the spare bedroom. It was raining, actually. I did the same, and I prayed for help, and it came. I used to have Reiki healing in the next village, and a lady called Kim Bromley came along, a hypnotherapist and wellness coach, and I had 6 one-hour sessions with her, and that was the start of my transformation. It was incredible. Her name was Kim Bromley, as I say, and I'm Karen Bromley, and I always say the universe sent me another Bromley to help me change my life for good, and she did, bless her. I'm always will be so grateful to her. And she inspired me to train as a hypnotherapist and wellness coach, of course. So in Eat, Pray, Love, she goes off to 3 different countries to eat, to pray, to love. I took off up to Norfolk, not quite as exotic, of course, but I did end up going off to Australia and New Zealand for the 3rd time for 7 weeks, which I've never ever have been able to have done. But the interesting thing was, in that sort of journey time, after I'd seen Kim, I thought, right, when I'm better, I'm going to leave my husband, I'm going to start a new life. And I let that drift on for a year. But then the old light bulb went off, ting, and I realised I had to leave to get better, and that's what happened. So I started my new life in a new county called Norfolk, 2.5 hours away from Kent in the UK, and started a whole new life. And I am so happy, so well, living an abundant life. The opportunities coming to me, it's just incredible. I leapt into the unknown, and I was caught by life. I was so fearful of doing it that last year, but I urge you, don't waste that time. Go for it, because, you know, I was just sitting there for another year, living under that fear. And fear is just an energy in the end. Actually, when you go through it, it's never as bad. And then all the wonderful opportunities are there on the other side, because you're in the flow of life. You're in the right place at the right time, on the path of your life. So that was, yeah, that was incredible. I think the most difficult thing for me in my marriage was that my ex-husband didn't accept my past. He didn't accept who I was in that moment, when we first met, and then when I was ill. And he didn't accept that I wanted to become self-employed and become a therapist. And that's really, really important for us to be accepted, accept ourselves for who we truly are, but for others as well to accept us. If they don't, you know, it's up to you how you react, respond to that. But for me now, I just say, oh, that's okay. You know, I'm going to move on, see different people, do different things, if that's the case. One of the things I learned on my journey was about going against my nature and personality. Now, I was a frontline social worker, you know, going out with the police with my warrant to section people, take away their liberty, to lock them up in psychiatric units. So very stressful job. And I was taking it all on board. You know, I'd go home and the adrenaline was pumping for hours and hours. I couldn't sleep because if I hadn't sectioned them, I was panicking if they killed themselves, or if I had sectioned them, had I done the right thing? You know, it was just whirring and whirring with me the whole time. I just became more and more exhausted. And I learned that I have an A-type personality. I don't know if you've heard of that before. I was a real perfectionist, and it drove me very hard. Bearing in mind I was covering more than one job a lot of the time, so I was trying to do my job perfectly and do 2. So, you know, beating myself up, pushing my physical and mental health all the time. No wonder my body and mind said, right, we're stopping, had enough of this. You've got to listen to us now, which thankfully I eventually did. I wish I had earlier, but there you go. It's all learning, isn't it, on our journeys? So, yeah, the A-type personality, hated failure. Instead of saying, oh, that situation failed, that didn't work, is how I view it now, then I used to think I'm a failure. But now I just say, oh, okay, that didn't work. You know, I learn from it and move on. At the time, I beat myself up. Gosh, that failed. I've got to do better. Carry on, carry on, carry on. I was very competitive, people pleasing, giving myself to everybody else, caring for people, all my clients, you know, putting myself out there and not looking after myself, which I always do now. And it doesn't make me selfish. It just means I look after myself and then I can look after others. Oh yeah, and impatience. That was a biggie. I was very, very impatient. I just wanted everything now, and I would get really wound up because everyone I worked with wasn't working at my stupid rate of knots and doing what I was doing, which was really silly because the expectations were just so high. It was me that needed just to calm down. And I used to see being ill a weakness, so I used to hide this fact. I used to say I was better than I was all the time, which didn't do me any favours at all. So anyway, I decided I wanted to be a type B personality, laid back and just work differently so I can work at my pace that I want to, enjoying and loving life and doing what I want to do in between working hard. And I love it, absolutely love it. I'm in control of my diary, what I do when I do it. Highly recommend it. So another thing I've reflected on is who's taken advantage of me. What triggers did I have? You know, those buttons, people that you can allow them to push. So write down what you think your triggers are, who takes advantage of you, and also what situations or environments are you putting yourself in that are negative, whether it's a relationship, work, where you spend your spare time, with their friends that are very draining and negative, and always it's you that's giving and them that's taking. I call them sort of toxic relationships, toxic environments. Just write any of those down. Negative things, triggers, environments. Anyway, now when I think or hear of ME, I think of it as standing for me expressed, because I express myself. I am who I truly am now, and I love that. I radiate out my true essence of myself. I'm doing what I feel passionate about and living my true authentic life, and it's just incredible. Just really, really recommend it to you. Can't recommend it enough. It's fantastic. Another thing I learned was that I was a highly sensitive person. Kim, the therapist, lent me a book by Dr. Elaine Aron, which is brilliant. And I discovered I was a highly sensitive person. I kind of knew I was sensitive. And my ex-husband used to put me down and say, oh, you're so sensitive. But now I celebrate it. Yay, I'm sensitive. And it helps me in my work, working with energy and having that intuition. And I love that. And I'm so proud of my sensitivity. But before, you know, that was another reason why I shouldn't have worked in frontline social work, because I was so sensitive, taking on all that negative energy and stress. So have a think about how sensitive you are. She has a very good quiz in the book, or just look online if you think you are a sensitive person. There's all sorts of free things online, so have a look and score yourself. It's very interesting. So talking about fear, you know, that energy of fear and what ruled me all those years. I was wanting to go back to Australia and New Zealand, as I mentioned. I wanted to go for 7 weeks. Now, I had always had this fear of being lost when I travelled on my own. I didn't know where it came from, and I just, years ago, used to just accept it as who I was. But now, with everything I've learned, I decided, no, I'm not allowing this to affect me anymore, because I'd lined up all my flights and I was just about to pay the credit card twice and just shut the computer down because that fear was welling up inside me. So I thought, that's it, I've had enough of this. Got one of my hypnotherapy colleagues to work with me and did a hypnosis recording. So that cleared it. What it was I was only little, but I was walking, and I was in a supermarket with my mum holding her hand. For some reason we lost contact, we stopped holding hands, and under regression in hypnosis I just felt that awful feeling of complete panic, of feeling lost. My mum couldn't even remember it, so it was probably just a really short time. And it was that thing that had dominated me for 50 years. I was just like, wow. And I see this all the time with clients, to get rid of that fear, that restriction. So anyway, I was in Heathrow Airport in the UK, waiting for my first plane to take me to Australia. And I text the hypnotherapist colleague, using her language. I am sitting here calm and confident, blah, 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 using all her language she'd used in the hypnosis recording in the session. And it was amazing to do that. And it made her laugh, because I no longer have that fear. Hooray! So, really look at your fears and habits and beliefs of what's holding you back. Start to go down that journey. And we go deeper if you want to access my online program to take you further, because sometimes we don't know consciously what it is that is holding us back. Hence, that's where the hypnosis comes in, because going into talking to your subconscious mind, the subconscious will tell you, and there's some amazing surprises sometimes. Anyway, when I was coming back from New Zealand via Australia, I stopped at Kuala Lumpur airport for a few hours on a stopover in Malaysia, and I was looking for a book to read for the next 14-hour flight or whatever it was, and I saw another Elizabeth Gilbert book, a new one, Big Magic. I was like, yay, that would be lovely to read, because I knew I liked the way she writes. And in there she was talking about an analogy of going on a road trip as is, her life path. And she talks about going on a road trip on a bus, and she invites the positivity onto her bus, and then she invites fear. And she says to fear, you're welcome to a seat, you're welcome to have a voice, but you're not allowed to look at the maps, you are not allowed to give directions, and there is no way you are allowed to drive. And you know what? It hit me like a ton of bricks. I had allowed fear to drive my life all those years. Such a long time. It was just mind-blowing. So I love using that because it's so true. And now I choose and allow love and positivity to drive my life, and fun and abundance. So remember, you have a choice. Fear is an energy, and once you get through it, it's just incredible. I had spent thousands and thousands of pounds looking for cures for the ME, and spent hours and hours. Lots of therapists did help me, and they helped me deal with the symptoms and the pain, etc., because I refused to have any antidepressants or any of the strong painkillers, which I'm so proud about. I did it all naturally. But what really, really hit me, from working in social work for all those years, working with the conscious mind, was that we have to work with the subconscious mind to make those long-lasting, powerful changes, because it makes up so much of the mind. So this is just, you know, like a secret that I discovered after doing those therapies all those years. And I just want to share that with you. It's so exciting. And it's a much easier and quicker way of changing your mind, your life. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about it. So you're probably starting to get more written down now, looking at your self-limiting beliefs, negative beliefs about yourself or the world. Think about any patterns of behavior that you have, how you react to things. It's not just who you are, you can change them. Because just imagine a house. Imagine the foundations under the house. If that's your mind and you have all those negative self-limiting beliefs about yourself and the world, and then you build your house as you're growing as an adult on top of that, and then a storm hits, you know, life is throwing things at you, that house will go like this. So what I'm talking about with the Mayor method is clear out the foundations, build new strong foundations, you know, in there. So whatever you're building on top from now on is actually really, really strong. So whatever storm, whatever life throws at you, it's solid, solid and happy, content with itself. And that's you. And that is just incredible change, because I see so many people, they've done a lot of work, spent a lot of money, and they come to me, they haven't wanted to do the other work, but they've built their house, spent that money, and of course the storms hit in life and they're wobbling again. For some people it works to go into therapy to do the talking therapies. It's up to you. You find what works for you. But I love this because it's, you know, it's dynamic and it suits my style. Okay, so share another screen. Okay, now here are blocks and challenges to making changes in your life. So just jot down any that are resonating with you. These are blocks and challenges that I myself either had or I see with my clients regularly. So you're not willing to invest your time, energy or money into transforming your life. This is a common one. I had it because one of my beliefs was I'm not good enough. So if you don't feel you're good enough, then you don't feel that you're worthy of investing your time, energy or money into transforming your life. And I totally understand that, because that's where I came from. That's the best thing I ever did. I spent the last money I had from sick pay to do this. And one of my lovely friends, Sue, she even said that she would lend it to me so I could do it. And investing in those 6 1-hour sessions, wow. I dread to think where I'd be if I hadn't done it. I could still be there. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. Okay, so resisting change. Yeah, that is natural. Have an awareness of all these things, but then move on from them, because they're all fear at the end of the day, holding you back, all those old beliefs. Assume your problems are unique when they're not. Many people have the same problems, but often people don't like to share them. Especially I didn't, you know, viewing it that it was a weakness. Fear the future, fear the unknown. Yeah, I was all those. Dwell on your past mistakes. You know, you might be beating yourself up like I did about stuff, decisions. Get stuck in the past. A lot of people get stuck in the past. It might end up with, you know, post-traumatic stress disorder. It could be from being in a war, but it also could be just in a traumatic relationship or a car accident. Trauma hits us in all sorts of ways. And that's why I did a diploma in trauma and abuse, so I can work with any traumas, any abuse. And I love that inner child work. Don't believe in yourself. Yeah, very common as well. Believe that you're a failure rather than something you did failed, as I talked about. Give up as it looks as if it'll be too difficult. Again, all these have the awareness, but just say to yourself, actually, I'm not going to let them hold me back anymore. You're there. Okay, I understand that. You don't want to or don't feel able to forgive others or yourself. That is something that I work with deeply on my online program as well, because I used to blame other people and it stopped me taking responsibility for myself. Your negative beliefs seem too strong. Yep, they can feel overwhelming. I've been there. Yep. Don't feel that you deserve success or happiness. That's a horrible belief to have. Another one I had. You believe that you cannot visualize your abundant future, which is connected to doing the law of attraction that I talk about in the steps of the Maya method. Feel things will get worse or that you will lose something. Even though sometimes, you know, it's horrendous where you are in your life, it feels safe. And it's just having awareness of that, but saying to yourself, no, I know I can feel safe and happy and live the abundant, confident life, whatever it is you want, by letting go and moving forward. But just have that awareness, accept it. Okay, that's how I feel. You've given away too much of your personal power. You feel powerless to change. Personal power, I mean, is the essence of you, the power of you. I imagine it sitting in your solar plexus, under your ribs. I gave my power to so many people, including my ex-husband, and that was my choice. I totally own that. But it's about taking that power back and saying, no, this is who I am. I'm keeping this, and radiate it out to others and share it to the world, but keep that core of your power there. Because when you're powerless to change, you know, it's overwhelming feelings of negativity. But again, I did it, I had it, I did it, I got out of it. So if I can do it, I assure you, you can do it. Because I was deep, deep down in that dark place. We feel too stuck in your life. Have an awareness of that, but know that you can never be too stuck to make those changes. You know, your mind is your healer. It certainly was for me. When you think about some research like, you know, placebos, people being given sugar pills, it's incredible how many people actually become well by just taking the sugar pill because they believed it would work. So let's do that. Let's just give away really natural stuff and tell people this is what will sort you out. And it does. And that's what we do with hypnotherapy. We're telling the subconscious mind that. It believes it, it makes new files, and then you live from it. That belief is very strong. So here we are, the 6 steps of the Maya method. Taking responsibility and having awareness of the roles we take on, so important. To take responsibility, it's the first step. Stop blaming people. Take responsibility for your thoughts, your actions, and the consequences of them. Once you stop blaming people, you're on your way. You're over halfway there. You've got that awareness of your roles. So by roles, I mean, like me, I took on the victim role. Poor me, I'm really sick. Oh gosh, you know, it's all these awful things happening to me. That's where I felt powerless, my wounded child inside, as we talk about in inner child therapy. Poor me. Another role is being timid, having low self-esteem, self-limiting beliefs, being quiet, wanting to be hidden. I was like that as a child. And the opposite of timid and victim is bully. You see, the victim may have the I'm not good enough belief system and shows it in a very passive way. And a bully can have the same I'm not good enough belief system, but what they do is show it aggressively. They're protecting their I'm not good enough feelings. So that's really interesting. The controller, I used to try and control everything because I felt my life was out of control. So it's controlling yourself or others, controlling food, whether it's overeating, undereating, controlling situations, whatever, the controller role, or judge, criticizing yourself or others. I used to criticize other people because I thought that they, should be up on my crazy level of working yourself into the wall. So the second step, forgiving and releasing. Forgiving, it's not saying to people what you did was okay. What it's saying is, I forgive and release whatever it was so that it no longer affects me. What you did was wrong and it hurt me, but I'm no longer going to carry it. I'm letting it go. And I use, powerful techniques in that. Because what can happen through life if we imagine our lives as our psychological selves as a vase? In that vase you put stuff. So for me it was learned never to express myself. So everything that I went through in life went in. Loss and hurt, and if people said something hurtful, that would go in there. And then as an adult, loss of relationships, love, and then 2 miscarriages, fertility treatments, not being able to adopt because I was ill, all this loss and grief of losing all sorts of different things, experiencing things, was building up and building up until it was full. And when our psychological vase is full, everything just spills out all over the place. And that's when, it can affect mental or physical health. So the mental health might be anxiety, where you're spiraling up into anxiety or spiraling down into depression, because anxiety is fear of the future and depression is looking, to the dark of the past and allowing it to still exist as depressive thoughts in the present moment. So spilling over can be physical, like with me, it was mental and physical. But some people, they might have a heart attack, or, something might go wrong with an organ or skin or whatever. It finds its way out of you somehow in a disease. That word disease, break it down, your body is in dis-ease with itself. That's really great, that word, because it explains it. And I think of this vase as, like when you have flowers in a vase and it just goes really skanky at the bottom, it's really horrible, the water's like a stagnant pond. I imagine that happening to us over the years. All that stuff we put in there starts to stagnate. And then you're getting sort of horrible green vapours poisoning your system, your mind and your body coming out of it, also affecting you. So through what we do is to, gradually empty that vase, give it a good clean, scrub it out and fill it with crystal clear water. I've got crystals literally in the bottom of my vase now with fresh flowers I change regularly. There's plenty of room in it, plenty of room for all the new experiences and all the positive things of happiness, abundance, love and fun and all the good things that you want. Now have space in my vase with my beautiful flowers. Another thing I think about, and you can see that I'm very visual because I've described a house, a vase, and now I'm doing an emotional hole. But I imagine a psychological emotional hole. Have you ever had that feeling where you are, have some sort of emptiness and you want to fill it with something because it's like a lack of contentment, fullness, completeness? Some people fill it with drugs, alcohol, shopping, food, sex, whatever, gambling, all those things. And it might give you relief for a while, but then you get that emptiness again and you want to fill it again. And, that's where addictions kick in, because you feel you need to fill that emotional hole. So just have a think and write down, to look at later on, what have you put in your vase, stuff throughout your life, and what are you filling your emotional hole with to feel content? If you have an emotional hole, most of us do, but have a think of those things, reflect on those later. Transforming your self-limiting beliefs. That is so, so important, as I've been telling you. And we do that at the deeper level with my online program. And have a look now, write down what sayings do you say to yourself. Let's start with what if. So it might be, what if I'm late for work? What if I make a fool of myself? What if I say something stupid in that meeting today? What if, I'm not good enough? What if I don't kiss properly? Whatever it is, write them down, what ifs. And you know what I love to say now is, what if I had the most amazing day? What if I meet someone that's going to be really wonderful? What if I learned something incredible? What if I make loads of money today? Feel the difference, just saying it, I feel energized saying it like that. And the I shoulds. Write down, do you use any I shoulds? Have an awareness, listen to your language. I should be doing that. I should be looking after that person. I should be whatever. All very sort of beating yourself up expressions. Building your self-esteem and taking your personal power back. That all happens through the work, through the method. And it's accepting yourself, taking opportunities to grow. Anything that's thrown at you in your life, you feel, okay, this is a challenge. How am I going to, get around this? But then learn from it, rather than just, oh, poor me, I feel, overwhelmed with it. It's an opportunity to grow. And that's how you start to feel. You acknowledge your strengths. You're working and living from your own resources and positive beliefs. And how to thrive and manifest your desired life based on the law of attraction. I used The Secret, the book, and watched the film and everything. And I couldn't understand why it wasn't working, but it's because I was so ill. And every time I used it, my negative self-limiting beliefs were shouting, nah, you're not worth it. You don't deserve to be well. You don't deserve to be happy, etc. They were just cutting them down. So again, it's really important to change those self-limiting negative beliefs in your subconscious. So then, like now, wow, I put it out. I have to be careful what I think of and dream of and say, because I'm in that flow now. And I never thought, I could be at one point. And now I just want to say to you, it does work. It does work. It's absolutely incredible. I've now got 2 houses. One's a beautiful cottage that I've renovated, and I'm just living such a wonderful life, living, with what I want to do, doing what I'm passionate about, and that's just to share it with you so that you can do that as well. So with the law of attraction, stating what you want, you're believing and perceiving it, and using the law of action to move forwards towards it. So I go into that more in my program. And then create your powerful, positive daily routine. I started this when I was really ill. I could only do a few minutes of stretching, and exercise just seemed to be like it was an impossible thing. But I go through your powerful, positive daily routine because that was one of the things that actually got me out of the initial stages, just having positive things to focus on. So each morning I ground myself. I still do all these now. I put my roots down into the ground, down to the core of the earth, wrap it around a beautiful crystal and draw that grounding energy up, that life force up into my mind and body. Then I send out thanks and love to everyone I know and to the world. I write a gratitude list of all the things I'm grateful for in my life, starting with the big things like freedom as a woman, security, food, etc. Adding the things that I'm grateful for, that just nice things that have happened through the day. I write at the other end of my journal, got the gratitude list at the back and the front, writing down my thoughts and feelings, using it to write down my law of attraction work. And then I have a vision board. So I have things I've cut out pictures and words. So like when I've got the property I wanted, I change it for the next one. The next one is a beautiful barn with farmhouse and a barn attached to it. And it doesn't mean that I'm not living in the moment, loving what I've got. I do every day. I'm so grateful to it. But with the law of attraction, it's putting it out there of, what's next, because I know now to my core that I deserve all these wonderful things. And there's lovely words on my vision board, and I have one for my businesses and one for my private life with travel and all sorts of things, cars. Just swap them as you reach them and really celebrate that, and then put the new thing up there that you're envisioning working towards. So I stretch every day. I do yoga and Pilates. I nourish my mind and body with very clean food, natural food. If you look at the ingredients of stuff, there's so much stuff on there. I don't eat dairy or wheat. It's my choice not to eat meat. The dairy industry is just awful. There's just look at things differently. Of what are you nourishing your body with, and how is that affecting animals and the planet, so that you're in a much purer state, and that really affects your mind and body. Living and working in a healthy environment, as I was talking about, look at people or your work. Is it healthy? Is it toxic? Is there negativity there? What's going on? Is it your relationship, friends? Mindfulness. Learn mindfulness. It's brilliant. There's lots of things out there on it. Connect with others. If I'm working all day on my own, I love to make sure I connect with others. It really lifts you. And nature. I love being out in nature every day with my beautiful dog. Do what you feel passionate about. Even if it's the small changes at the moment, you don't like your job or you hate your job, start working towards what you do want to do in your own time. I go into reacting to stress differently, breaking that down to help you. Because rather than just reacting in the moment and letting it affect your whole physiology, it's taking that time to respond with control and calm, and then you remain calm. It's wonderful, powerful difference. Expect great things every day. Oh yeah, love that. Making sure you've got you time, even if it's 5 minutes, just to stop, breathe, calm yourself down. You don't have to have official meditation. I used to have such a busy mind, and I've always found that listening to visualizations and hypnosis recordings, it quietens down my mind a lot quicker because of the brainwave music and the way hypnotherapists, I listen to my own now. I can listen to my own voice now. The way that the hypnotherapists bring you down, and it's all very positive, and then you go into a lovely sleep. I check in with myself every day, checking in, how's my body, but positively, not looking for pain or negative things, but just having a little chat with myself, see how I'm doing. Okay. Yay, I'm back. Okay, so if you are ready now to do the deeper work with my online program, the Maya method has the 6 steps, as I've said. They have a video and a hypnosis recording for each step. So 6 videos, 6 hypnosis recordings, and details how to access the Maya method, my online program, or boot camp, as it's sometimes called on different platforms. All the details are coming up after this video. So check that out. And I would love to be able to help you with the deeper work so that you can live the life you want and deserve. For now, I'm going to give you your free bonus, which is a lovely visualization. So if you're driving or operating machinery, as they always say, obviously don't listen to it now because I want you to close your eyes. So find somewhere quiet, turn off the phone, get some headphones, which is the best way to enjoy hypnosis recordings, and sit yourself down, lay down, get comfortable and warm so you won't be disturbed. And just close your eyes down, bringing yourself into the moment with your breath. So start taking lovely deep breaths in. Just allow yourself to settle down onto whatever you're sitting or laying on. And just imagine a ball of energy sitting on top of your head. It's a beautiful ball of energy. It may have a colour, a texture, or a word. Feel that energy building up now, that relaxation. As it starts to float down your face, relaxing all the muscles in your face. Allow your jaw to loosen, just let it go so there's a gap between your jaws, and maybe your tongue sits down into the bottom of your mouth. Feel that wave of relaxation down the back of your head and round your neck, releasing and relaxing all the muscles in your neck. As it flows down and around your shoulders, let go of your shoulders now. And feel any tension just flowing down your arms, out of your fingertips. As a wave of relaxation wraps around your chest and your back, your abdomen, your lower back. Just feel it soaking into your body, relaxing every muscle, every organ, down to every cell of your mind and body, relaxing and releasing. As the energy moves around your hips and your thighs, maybe you're starting to feel a lovely, heavy sensation in your body. As the energy moves down your legs, that wave of relaxation down your legs over your knees, over your ankles, down to the very tips of your toes. You are encased in a beautiful bubble of energy that may have that colour, word, or texture, or just have a knowing that it's there. And any time you want to boost this bubble of energy and relaxation, you just have to think about it. And it protects you from any outside stress or negativity, and keeps inside all the relaxation and calm that you are experiencing right now. Just thinking of that bubble brings back these deep feelings of relaxation to you by just thinking about the bubble. So now I'm going to count from 10 to 1. Just letting go now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, going all the way down now. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drifting all the way down now. You find yourself on a path. This path is your life's path. As you turn round and look back, it represents the past of your life up to this moment right now. Notice the path, the surroundings, what you see, hear, and feel. And turn round and look ahead of you. On the left, you will notice that the path is the same. If you continue to carry on with what you are doing, thinking, feeling, and the consequences of those thoughts and actions. And to the right, you will see a brand new path where you take responsibility and make changes, positive, powerful changes to your life. So just step onto that new path on the right. Just notice the difference with the path. Notice the wonderful energy, the beauty around you. Notice the relaxing, powerful sounds. Notice that feeling of positivity, of opportunities, of abundance and growth. Look ahead of you to the future, to that exciting unknown, outside of your comfort zone, where the magic happens. So step back now to where you are right now, knowing that you have that choice of which path you take. And know that you can change paths at any time. It's your choice. You are in complete control. So just take a moment to be where you are right now. I will count from 1 to 5 and you come back to the room opening your eyes when I say the number 5. So 1, feeling calm. 2, feeling content. 3, feeling in control. 4, start to come back now. And 5, open your eyes, coming back to the room feeling relaxed and refreshed. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. That is just a small taster of the hypnosis recordings that I have alongside each video on my program. So just imagine now, after working through my 6-step Maya method and doing the deeper work with me, how you will feel, how free and liberated and empowered you will feel, living the happy, abundant life that you want to deserve. I wish you well, and I hope to see you there. Take care. Bye for now.